Magic Dragons did. I'm going to talk a little bit about my Grand Prix Denver 2011 and Next Level Magic, Patrick Chapin's book. So recently I went to the Denver Grand Prix, and here's a little bit of walking through on it. You know, it was sealed deck, and it was really hard to get anything good. A lot of people got garbage. It was, you got a bomb, you won. You didn't get a bomb, you did okay. I started off 2-1, and then after that, it kind of went downhill. There was a lot of fun there. I mean, there's a lot of vendors, a lot of people I've never seen before. Met a couple local people from Montana, and you know, and the big events normally, since I didn't have no one to go with me, it's pretty easy to find someone to sit and talk to. But with this, at least on the day of the Grand Prix, it was horrible. You couldn't hardly get anyone to talk with you, and I guess I wasn't too happy with it. I used to go to these big events, and it was pretty fair, but everybody had their game face on. Everyone thought they should win, and I was sat right next to Todd Anderson, since I do it alphabetical order, and he has a little plastic lion he uses for luck, so that was kind of weird. One of the saddest things, though, was Brad Nelson had texted me, and I had talked back with him, and we were supposed to at least try to go do something. I couldn't even get him to talk to me. And, and I noticed that most of the pros are just that. It's kind of like, the preppy jocks when you're in school. They're like, hi, shake your hand, take off, leave. And it was pretty disappointing. At first I was like, well, maybe it's just, they don't know me, but I watched throughout the day, and they did that to pretty much everybody. So if you go to one of these things and you see a pro and you say hi, that's about as far as you're going to get. My love for Patrick Chapin has never been, anything of love. I really never liked the guy, but unfortunately he was the nicest guy to me when I was there at the pro level. But then, of course, I did buy his book and had him autograph it, so I guess there's some brownie points in doing that. And I'll discuss that a little bit later. But, like I said, I went 2-1. Then I ended up going 2-4. I just lost. And then I just kept going from there. And I was like, you know what? The best rare I got was Lux Cannon. That's the only one out of all of the packs I got that was worth anything. There's that. I got that, and then I got the rare artifact guy that's power and toughness equal the number of cards in your hand, but he never worked out for me, so my card pool was pretty shallow. I was doing blue-white with flyers, and I faced Elspeth twice, so it's pretty hard once they get that out and they blow everything up. Warm Coil Engine, Steel Hellkite, and in the face of those kind of bombs, it's just too hard to win over that. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna quit. So I did, and I went and played a bunch of drafts. I tell you, that's one of the funnest parts. $10 draft, the winner gets, I don't know, like 4 or 5 packs. So basically, it's a rare draft. You get what you can get, and then play and see if you can win, or you bring your standard deck and you can win a box. And I actually talked quite a bit with Brian. I forget his last name, but you can look him up, because on Sunday I did the Star City Games Invitational and ended up in 15th place. But I kind of killed myself once because I missed the trigger for Masticore, and it ended up costing me the game, because I could have just burned him in the face the next round. And I drew my card before I discarded, and he had a big old fit. And then you just gotta remember, put something on top of your library, which I guarantee I did after that to remind myself. So that one kind of got me. And then in the last round, my opponent didn't show up. He showed up 10 minutes late, and then somehow talked the judges into just letting him get a game loss, and then eventually he ended up winning the next 2 rounds. And he had a pretty aggressive Boros deck, and I was playing mono blue Grand Architect, And, you know, I guess I can't complain. 15th place at an invitational when it's the first time I played that. And I met the guy who took 4th place. He's going to be moving to North Dakota, so I gave him my email. Hopefully he'll come and talk to me. If not, you know what? It doesn't really bother me any, but the next thing I really want to talk about, though, is Patrick Chapin's book, Next Level Magic. I bought it just to see if it was anything good. And really, I wanted to be able to come on here and just rip into it and say it was garbage and it just taught, you know, small-time ideas and talk about how much I hated it and how I shouldn't have printed it. And the only thing I could say is there's like me and one other person I saw in the whole place that had the book. And you know what? I can definitely tell why he got it published. It's actually a very good book. If you get a chance, I would try to read it. It has some valid points. It has some things that showed me what I need to work on, and we'll see if that helps me at all. So, we'll see what happens on that. You know, and I gotta give props to him because it was actually pretty dang good. One of the biggest things he talked about is you need to have a magic group, which, you know, being in Montana now, I have a couple people that play that are casual. And you mentioned you really got to have a magic team because it takes that much to get to that kind of level. So, those of you listeners and you YouTube players out there, I know I occasionally play, but Saturdays I normally go to my friends and play. But it'd be nice to get a group together and we could see what we can do because that's something I'm interested in doing. So, anyways, I talked with Star City Games about maybe seeing if they could get like one of their pros or Chapin or someone. Said, you know what, I would pay them to look at my deck, go over some strategies, kind of like Conley Wood's Deck Tech does. And I talked with some of them on it, and it sounds like they're going to look into it and see if they can do it, you know, $5, $10. I got no problem spending $10 to have a pro say, here are the weak points, here are the strong points, and maybe give you that little extra edge. So, if it comes up, MTG Wrathy God is the man who started that. Just so you know. It'd be great if they did it. If they didn't do it, you know, no monkey on my back, but still, it'd be nice. It would help out grinder players and that. And I met a lot of nice grinder players and a lot of real serious players, so all in all, it was pretty nice, you know. In the end, 15th place at the Invitational wasn't too bad for a rogue deck. Everyone liked it. You know, I see Grand Architect decks are coming around huge now, and I know some of the people playing there said as soon as they go home they're going to work on their own version of one, so thank me for that, I guess. If you don't like it, oh well.